Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I had my hair like all fixed cute, but it's just been one of them days, so I had to mom bun it. And I was like, since we're doing a real like life update, why not just keep it real? So this is what you get. Anyways, I'm gonna try to keep this kind of under 10 minutes. That's the goal, because I also want to make a video after this talking about the Bible study in the book that I am reading and how the two amazingly go together. And it's gonna be a good video, so I hope that you tune in for that. But it's kind of cold, so I might do this inside. But anyways, I have the door cracked. My daughter's sleeping. This is the only time I can do something like this now. So anyways, let's just hope she stays asleep. Anyways, this is an update of kind of what's been going on. I used to do vlogging videos all the time. I've had this YouTube channel for since, I don't know, end of 2013. I want to say end of 2013 or beginning of 2014 is when I started my YouTube channel. So I've had it for a while. But I used to vlog all the time. And I have like almost 500 followers on here. So I used to have a pretty good crowd that would watch my videos, comment, keep up with me, friendships, all that sort of thing. So it all kind of, we're going to start at where it kind of drifted away. So towards the end of 2017, getting into 2018, you know, I just really had like a dark cloud that just kind of started gathering over top of me. And it caused problems with myself, my relationship, friendships, just everything. Everything seemed to, it was like a trifecta. It was like one thing would happen and then another, and it just kept going and going and going and down spiraling. Now my dogs are gonna bark. So I was having issues in my relationship. Things were not good at all. Then I started having issues where I wanted to find myself, couldn't really find myself, didn't know how to find myself properly. That got me in trouble. Then dealing with co-parenting, that was annoying and really hard, because co-parenting with my child's father hasn't ever been an issue. With his wife, well, sometimes it's fine and sometimes it's not. And let's be real, that's a lot of co-parenting situations. You're not always going to get, you know, you're not going to be level-headed with the mother of the child and the bonus mother of the child. Like, that just, it doesn't, yeah, it still doesn't happen. Anyways, not really getting into that. But then that led to court, custody battles, all the things. That took up 2 years. So that was really hard. When it came to my child and court, lawyers, all that stuff, I was just so stressed. I couldn't think about vlogging. I couldn't think about anything else. I got really selfish. I pushed a lot of people away at that time too, because I just wanted to either A, figure it out myself, or two, wish that magically somehow something could get better. And then even through that turmoil, things were getting better. And it was like a little glimpse of better. I started pursuing my dream job. Going to this, I started this career portfolio because I went to college, to different colleges for 8 years off and on. I could have been a doctor if I wanted to, but I wanted to work my way up in the medical field, and that is what I did. I started with medical assisting, phlebotomy, CNA, all the things. But I wanted to end up in the hospital where my grandpa, when he was sick and had cancer, had his heart surgery and all the things, chemo, radiation, all those things. And that hospital is actually a couple hours away from me. I live in Virginia, where he used to, when he was alive, lived in West Virginia. So when he passed away, I wanted to have that dream. I worked up a portfolio for years for this place. And when I finally got that job orientation and everything like that, it felt like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. I was finally doing what I really wanted to do, which was to be a nurse assistant on the ER floor at this hospital, because it was huge. It was broken up into sections. You had your pediatric section, you had your emergency responsive section, you had your triage, and then you had your mental health patients, which I really liked those people because they were actually cool and kind of interesting. They kept work really, really interesting. But the thing is, I loved it. I loved it. So everything was going good. My significant other, however, did not like me working there at all. I didn't have the support. So it's like I'm having this dream job, but the person that I care about, love, they don't want to support that dream. They have nothing positive to say about it. They don't get where my heart is in it. So that was the hard part, because it, you know, hour drive there, hour drive back, it's hard commute, right? But also too, unexpectedly, I ended up pregnant, because for some reason my body does not react well to my birth controls, no matter, I've been on different ones. It's like kind of like an autoimmune issue, because it'll trigger my birth control and it'll fail it. So my birth control failed. I ended up pregnant, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, so I was actually really excited. And this is kind of where the dream died. Okay, so taking all this in, I'm not vlogging, I'm living my career dream in the hospital, helping people. So I was like 4 or 5 weeks pregnant. I had a patient came in, and I will never forget this day. Came in on a stretcher, someone's on top of him doing active CPR. This guy was supposed to be at dialysis like later that day, like in like his clinical routine. I knew who he was. Well, knew of him, didn't really know him personally, but I've seen him, you know. But anyways, so he came in, he was unresponsive. I had to jump in that room with a whole team. So we're all in there, you know, we got all our nurses, we got like cardiovascular surgeon in there, we got the echo team, we got everybody up in there. So it's my turn to have to switch off. So you want to switch off really fast with the nurse that's doing CPR on a patient. I was doing CPR for at least 20 minutes. And I found a pulse. After finding a pulse, I had to get out of there for a minute. It's not that I couldn't handle the situation, because it wasn't the first time that's happened. The problem was I could feel this heat rising. I don't know if you've ever been like instantly overwhelmed with some kind of emotion, but you can feel like heat rising, like right here. But I was feeling it. Thought I was going to pass out. Had to walk away, but I was so emotional. So emotional. And then later that evening, I miscarried. I miscarried, and it kind of ruined me a little bit, because I fell into a depression. I got depressed over miscarrying, for one, because not only did I miscarry, but I also called into work and told them that I couldn't do this anymore. that I needed to be home to kind of just recover, because I could not mentally get my mind recovered. So there was that. So I quit my dream job and I was, just chilling at home. So I started falling into a depression because of, okay, so here we go back into the thought of co-parenting, court, lawyers, custody battles. It's just going on and on and on. Finances, like, it's a lot to do this. I fell into a depression, and I remember praying. And I was praying to God, saying, you got to get me through this. You got to get me through this, because I cannot do this. And so I ended up having these dreams about getting pregnant again. And I ended up praying, and I'd say, God, if it's your will, let it be done. If not, I understand. But if you let me carry full term, I will make it my job to preach the gospel to my child, to where she goes out into the world and preaches it to others. Just like you sent your only son to do. My littlest one now, she's my rainbow baby, 17 months old. She can say Jesus. So we're getting there. But anyways, so long story short, I have my rainbow child. I give birth right when my state decides to shut down. So now we're in a global pandemic. My state is shutting down. So there's panic. I'm here, not leaving, because I don't want to get COVID. I don't want the baby to get COVID, and it's actually scary to me. So I've just been a stay-at-home mom, and honestly, the dream of being a nurse, ER, at the hospital that I loved, I realized that I found my purpose as a stay-at-home mom. Now, so we're all cut up to now. But going back into a little bit of the chaos, a lot of the down spiral came from the fact that I lost my grandfather in 2016. My grandfather was also my dad. So a lot of people, like, who are my close friends who know, I grew up in Myrtle Beach in North Carolina, and I grew up in a broken home. Very unstable. Parents did drugs, drank alcohol, they're abusive, the whole 9 yards. So I grew up thinking that I'm seeing this stuff, it's acceptable, okay? So my life's a mess. So between 2016 and the end of 2018, okay, we're talking about 3 years times, basically. Well, no, 17, let's just say 2 years times. 2 years times between 2016 and 2018, I was just a complete mess. I worked in a bar and a restaurant. It distracted me. It put me in a bad situation, toxic situation, because I'm around toxic people, alcohol, all the things, right? So that led to the wrong relationships, toxic friendships, all this mess. And so basically, I had to pick myself up in those broken pieces, and I had to get it together. But the only way I could get it together and save myself is I needed to go through these hardships, which also caused me to be away from YouTube and vlogging and things like that. So the end of 2018, I cut out a lot of social media, deleted a lot of stuff, because if I kept myself away from all that stuff, there's no temptation, there's no sin, there's no bad toxic things. And honestly, I do not talk to like any of my friends anymore. Some of the friends that I thought were friends are really not my friends, but there are a couple that I do miss dearly. But I had to step away to grow. And the only way to grow was to do it myself, because no one else is going to do it for me. God could help me a little bit away, but he's going to sit back and say, I want to see you do it and put the work in. So there was that. And honestly, it's sad to a point too, because I don't think a lot of my friends, I think they just think, you know, she just left, she doesn't care. But I had to do things to salvage my identity, salvage my relationship that I have here with my significant other. And honestly, ever since 2019, when I got pregnant, giving birth in 2020, and now we're in 2021, the woman I am now, I wish I had found her sooner, because I'm just so different. I'm so different now, and I feel so calm with my spirit and with who I am. And you know, my past does not define me, and neither does yours. So the key takeaway here is you can always start over. You can always start over, but don't get comfortable in your comfortable places, if you know what I mean. Because if you stay there, you can't grow. And I'm sitting here literally last night, early this morning, however you want to put it, in a bathtub at midnight, because that is the only time I get to myself. I feel like I can't even take a bath by myself anymore because it's just mom life. And I don't know, I don't have that help. So I have to do what I have to do when I can do it. So I'm sitting there till about 1:30 in the bathtub this morning, and I'm just making notes, because I knew I wanted to get on here today and like do a life update of what is really going on and where I've been and why my channel took a drastic slowdown, why, you know, you really didn't hear much from me. It was because of all the crazy, and then taking that crazy, hectic, toxic situation and renewing it, growing. And that's also where I see myself with my spiritual growth. So I mean, I'm still continuing to grow, but my life had slowed down in a good way, that I'm happy, healthy. I have a roof over my head. I have a car. I have healthy children, and everything, it just seems calm. It seems calm right now. It seems good. And I really can't complain about my life at this moment. I can't. So the question is, okay, so your life was crazy and a hot mess for years. But you're doing good now. So what's to come? So, well, we can talk about dreams. So one dream that I wish would come, but I know it's never gonna come, just because I know. Like, I know, and I'm tired of dropping hints and the universe trying to drop hints, and it's just one of those things that are not meant to be, but whatever, you never know what the future holds, is a wedding. I know that that's never gonna happen for me. But honestly, it's fine, because the one thing that is happening that is a good dream is soon, probably in the next year, I will have a new house built on our land, and it's going to be wonderful and beautiful and secluded and away from everybody else, to where I can ensure some safety. The world is just so crazy right now. I feel so sorry for my children having to be raised up in this, like, havoc. It's crazy. And honestly, I feel like it's not going to get much better. So I'm trying to do some, security for my kids, for myself. But yeah, everything is really good. you know, I miss certain people. I miss certain things. But I've grown. And the old me who was so much of a people pleaser and trying hard to fit in and thinking I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm never going to be worthy. You know, I still write some of those things down when I Bible study or something like that, because, you know, I'm human. We all are. But I had to take all those negative thoughts about myself and trying so hard to fit in what I thought was attractive and definitely not, and just kind of just lay it down. I had to lay it down and I had to change. And I'm very proud of myself at how far I have come, the obstacles I have gotten through, all the hell I've gone through and came back. I've gone there, I've came back, I've been there multiple times. But I'm just really proud of myself and how I've grown. And I just wanted to let you guys know, like, I didn't forget about you guys and I didn't want to just up and abandon, but it's like my mind was so distracted on the toxic that I could not focus on sharing any good news with you guys, or anything like that. And it also drifted me away from my faith. So it had to change. It had to change because if I didn't change years ago, there's no telling what it'd be like right now. It'd probably be extremely bad. So I'm just saying, you can change and you can start over, and your past, no matter what you have done, been through, done, said, whatever you have done, it does not define who you are as a person. And people who want to sit there and try to make your past define you, they're the ones that have problems with their self, their growth, and also that's Satan. So, and there's a lot of that out there. So you just focus on you and focus on the good, because that is what I keep doing, and I just keep pushing forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end here because I was trying to keep it under 10 minutes. It's like over 22 minutes now. It's going to take me forever to post this. And then I want to eventually get into this because this is so good. I know some ladies from my church are actually excited for me to share this with the Bible study group. So I'm going to do that. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for caring. Thank you all for supporting me, and for my friends out there. Just because we don't talk every day or might not talk, it does not mean that I have forgotten about you guys. I love you guys and I care about you. And I carry you in my heart and in my prayers. And I do pray that God has a way to rebuild those friendships, and who knows what's to come out of those friendships. And he could lead our paths to cross again someday. But for right now, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I don't get out much, but you never know what happens, you know, baby stepping. I just have to make sure that I have healthy friendships. But yeah, I miss you guys. You know who you are. And I love you all. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.